Here's a tour of the Holland America Nieuw Statendam for a March 2023 sailing we took from Port Everglades, Florida. As with all my ship tours, I will start at the very top of the ship and work my way from the front to the back of each deck. And so for this tour, we'll start at deck 14, the sky deck. Because this deck is located at the very top and at the front of the ship, it can only be accessed from the forward-most elevator on the ship or from a set of stairs coming up from deck 12. And why from deck 12 and not deck 13, you ask? Well, that's because there isn't a deck 13 on this ship or most other ships due to superstitious reasons. But there is a deck 12, the observation deck, which at the very front has an area called the Explorations Lounge and Crow's Nest. This is also where the excursion desk is located. This lounge has lots of seating with great views and a bar that serves coffee and alcohol drinks. There's even a separate room on the starboard side of the ship that can be reserved for special events. However, what this area did not have was 2 working monitors that normally display useful information pertaining to your voyage. So instead, I'll use them to help me introduce deck 11, the sun deck, which has staterooms at the very front of the ship, but as we work our way aft, we step out to a running track. Then there's an all-sports court for things like basketball and pickleball. And finally, at the very back of the ship, you'll find the sun deck. Deck 10, the panorama deck, which also has staterooms at the front, but moving aft you'll step out onto a deck that looks down onto the main pool below with very cushy lounge seating. This is also where we will find the first of our food options, the New York deli and pizza. There's also a panorama bar and a sliding roof that covers the pool during inclement weather or windy days. As we continue aft, there's an area for the kids called Club Hal. There's also another outside deck with more lounge chairs and a shuffleboard court. And finally, at the very aft of the ship, you will find an Asian-inspired specialty restaurant called Tamarind, as well as another area with lounge chairs directly behind that. Deck 9, the Lido deck, which at the very front of the ship has a gym with some pretty amazing views and a full-service spa known as the Greenhouse Spa and Salon. Working our way aft, we will be greeted by the main pool, a giant movie screen that at night is used for feature-length movies under the stars. Behind the pool is the Lido bar. A gelato stand, and a great place to grab freshly made hamburgers, hot dogs, and french fries called the dive-in. As we continue aft, we'll step inside to the Lido Market with a very nice assortment of foods for breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, and even a late night snack. And finally, at the very aft of the ship is the outside area with a bar called the Seaview Bar. And another pool and hot tub. Decks 8 through 4, the Navigation, Schubert, Mozart, Gershwin, and Beethoven decks are all staterooms. And speaking of staterooms, ours was a veranda balcony room with plenty of storage, floor-to-ceiling doors that open up to an okay-sized balcony with 2 chairs and a small table. Deck 3, the Promenade Deck. And this is where you'll find most of your entertainment on board. At the very front is the upper level entrance to the World Theater. Directly behind the theater, you will find the casino. After the casino, you will find an upper-level viewing area that looks down onto the double-duty Lincoln Center Stage and B.B. King's Blues Club. However, this particular spot on Deck 3 is also where you'll find a myriad of shops with everything from sundries to clothing and most everything in between. Continuing aft, we will find the Grand Dutch Cafe, which serves coffee, drinks, and snacks. On the other side of the atrium is the guest services desk. Continuing aft, the ship's photo shop. And finally, at the very aft of the ship is the upper level entrance to the main dining room. Deck 2, the Plaza Deck. This has a lower level entrance to the World Stage Theater. And behind the theater is a small glass enclosed room that held various activities throughout the cruise and mostly during the day. And directly behind that is where most of the evening's entertainment was held. The billboard on board and the Rolling Stone Rock Room, which as its name implies, has a rock band playing rock and roll cover music from the 60s until present day. However, only one of these two venues could be used at a time because they're right across from one another and very close together. Also, in between them is a whiskey bar called Notes, which was unmanned most of the times that I've seen it. Moving further aft is that double-duty Lincoln Center Stage and B.B. King's Blues Club, which shared both classical music in the afternoons and early evenings and blues music late into the night. Across from the stage is where you'll find a few more shopping options. Now, as we work our way aft, we will arrive at two more specialty restaurants, the Pinnacle Grill and the one that we dined at on this cruise, Rudy's, which is a French-inspired seafood restaurant. Across from Rudy's is the Ocean Bar, which says you can enjoy live music. this lonely looking piano here wasn't used not even once during our voyage. Further aft is the Club Orange restaurant, which requires an upgraded ticket class. And finally, at the very aft of the ship is the lower level entrance to the ship's main dining room, which features a 2-story wine storage area and a grand staircase that provides access to the upper level. And because Deck 2 serves as an access point for the ship's lifeboats, it also is a great place to take a leisurely stroll around the ship. Deck 1, the main deck, which is again all staterooms. Below Deck 1 is another somewhat undocumented deck that provides access to the ship's medical center, which hopefully is something you'll never need to visit, but it's also where you'll find the forward and midship gangways for port visits and boarding tender boats. Well, that's your tour of Holland America's Nieuw Statendam. If you like this video, please click the like button, which actually helps this video get out to others that are also interested in this content. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're alerted to any new video that I do post in the future. And finally, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.